Treasury of the Secretary Scott Bessent comes out this evening saying a major deal has been made between the United States and China as it relates to trades, and the details will be provided tomorrow. Could the markets go on a major rally, the stock market and crypto? I'll give you the details. And Vice President JD Vance is attending the Bitcoin conference later this month, and Bitcoin just did something very bullish on the weekly chart. I'll tell you what it is. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have some breaking news this evening. The United States and China hail a constructive Geneva trade talks, details due Monday. So Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent came out saying the United States and China ended high-stakes trade talks on a positive note on Sunday, with U.S. officials touting a deal to reduce the U.S. trade deficit, while Chinese officials said the sides have reached important consensus and agreed to launch another new economic dialogue forum. So we're going to get the details tomorrow. You may say, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, what did we see happen when the tariff uncertainty hit the markets? Everything crashed, the stock market, crypto, because you have this macro uncertainty. Well, if you have resolution to that macro uncertainty, especially between the United States and China, two world superpowers, that's going to help the markets to have a more positive sentiment. It's going to allow more investors, especially retail, to come back into the market. It takes away the fear. So that's very good. And as I've been saying, you look at the charts, especially Bitcoin and altcoins, and as the saying goes, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. Funny how all of this is aligning now as global liquidity is rising and risk assets are following global liquidity. The dollar is in the dumps. So all of these things are lining up here for the bull market to continue. And that's why this is important. The macro uncertainty that was caused by this trade situation is now coming to a resolution. So it should lift the dark cloud that's been hanging around and people are worried, I'm not going to touch the markets because I don't know what's going to happen. Once we have clarity, and it doesn't even need to include all the details, but the fact that China and the United States are going to be resolving this, markets can continue, retail and the majority of people are going to start focusing on the markets again. They can feel more confident. So that's why this is bullish, and we could see the stock market and crypto rally tomorrow. And Bitcoin, as we know, has been rallying kind of ahead of this news, going close to 105,000. And we know this is the start of the next leg up, and we still have room to run here. And if you look at the Bitcoin weekly chart, folks, it just flipped green on the MACD. This is very bullish. It did the same thing when we saw the rally in Q4 of 2024. And you go back and you look at the other major rallies as well in this bull market. And the RSI is not even near the overbought zone when it comes to the weekly chart. So the setup is really great here. But this MACD flipping bullish in green is great. It gives the bulls the momentum. Bears are done. Now, we know it's all cyclical, right? Eventually, the bulls are going to lose control because the market will top and it will become overbought. And then the bears will take control and start shorting. But we are seeing the patterns play out here. This is the charts. This is not my feelings or emotions. This is just the data. You can go look at this and see the same thing. Just simple pattern recognition will tell you this. So we're seeing the right things here. And as I mentioned before, the dollar weakening is a very good sign. And global liquidity continues to rise, and Bitcoin and risk assets are following that. And I love this chart that was shared by Crypto Currently, which shows the correlation between the DXY and Bitcoin, and that when the dollar is breaking down, breaking below 100, that sends risk assets into a mania phase, especially crypto. So this is why we're seeing Bitcoin on the rise. Altcoins are waking up. And one of the things I've been sharing with you guys is the Bitcoin dominance is starting to collapse. So we are seeing all the right things here. It is playing out beautifully. And of course, the other factor I was highlighting is the USDT dominance, Tether dominance, right? When that's breaking down, it means the Tether liquidity is flowing into Bitcoin and altcoins. Same story, just a matter of patience and learning the market cycles. So I hope you guys are grasping this and why it's playing out again, because it's simply the data, the metrics, the liquidity, and the charts are telling you what's coming. And you're going to see the news start to reflect this, just like we're seeing here with the China trade talks news. And then look at this. It was announced a day ago that U.S. Vice President JD Vance will be speaking at the Bitcoin conference. So see what's happening here, right? You're going to get some ridiculous price points coming in from different folks all over the place. I'm not saying JD Vance, I'm just saying in general, because we're starting to see the next leg up, folks. It's amazing how this all plays out. And yesterday I told you guys about Conor McGregor, who's looking to establish a Bitcoin reserve for Ireland. Now, some of you told me he's actually running for president in Ireland. I didn't know that. Well, we got some additional news that he's going to meet with El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, to discuss building a strategic Bitcoin reserve in Ireland. Notice what's happening here. The celebrities are coming in, right? We saw this in the previous bull markets. So these are signs that the top is not far away. That doesn't mean the top is coming in next month. I want to make sure you guys understand that and you have the context, right? When I say that, I'm talking about the top phase, the top zone, where that could last 6 months, right? Honestly, because the markets don't move up in a straight line. You have your pumps, your pullbacks, consolidations, build support levels, then pump up again. So it doesn't just go straight up in a straight line and that's it. Obviously not. So please understand when I say the top is near, I don't mean next week. And you don't have to panic, right? Because we're still looking at some of these data points. But when you start to see all the, the big celebrities and all these people piling in, and then mainstream media starts getting bullish, those are the signs. I had to learn this because I used to come in with the dumb money crowd. I didn't make that terminology up. That is a terminology that exists before crypto. You have smart money that buys the bottom when there's fear. Dumb money comes in when the market is topping and it's in the greed zone and euphoria. And that's when smart money starts exiting the market. So that's what I'm trying to drive home here. So I have nothing against Conor McGregor. I have nothing against him doing this. This is actually very bullish, but it is signs of the top phase. So just be prepared, have that cash out plan. And Conor continues to tweet about Bitcoin. I mean, you look at his last 4 to 5 tweets, it's a lot of tweets about crypto. All of a sudden, why is that? Here's his most recent tweet from today, 3 hours ago. Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, he asks. I can see a lot of transparent and trustless applications with crypto, and I can see an immutable people's money with Bitcoin. What cryptos can help bring accountability to a government and why? All of a sudden, this MMA legend, and I'm a fan of this guy, right? I've watched him fight and his personality, it's so hilarious to watch sometimes. All of a sudden, majority of his tweets are coming down to crypto. Fascinating, but also a signal. Remember that. It's a signal. You start seeing some of these big celebrities coming in, it's a signal. Top zone is near. And when you take a step back, this is the fifth wave, the final year of that bull market, guys. And this is why I keep telling you, bear market coming 2026, bottoming out by 2027. And then the next halving is in 2028, rinse and repeat. That's why I'm looking to take some of the profits I make in this cycle and invest in the bloody bear market of 2027. So folks, things are really heating up here. I like what I'm seeing. Big news. Let's see what comes out tomorrow with Trump and tariffs and China, because if this thing wraps up, watch the markets rip. They are going to rip after bottoming out and all the bleeding out and took place. A lot of people were fearful. I bought the dip. I bought some XRP and SWI when we were in April in the dumps. And I had mentioned that on the podcast. So this is good news. Let's see what the details are. Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Trezor. Trezor makes beautifully crafted hardware wallets that make it easy for you to safely store your crypto. They have been at this since 2013. They were the pioneers in hardware wallets, and their hardware wallets are open source. And I'm a user of the product. I use the Trezor Safe 5, and it's beautiful. It's easy to use, guys. It's a great hardware wallet, and they support a variety of coins. all your top coins. I'm talking Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, BNB, you name it. They even support some of the new institutional coins like BlackRock's BITL token. They have a full software suite called Treasury Suite that helps you to manage your tokens on the hardware wallet and much more. They even have an onboarding service where a Trezor rep can help you to set up your device. They will walk you through the process and answer all your questions. So folks, check them out, and you can use the code ThinkingCrypto, all one word, to get 5% off. So ThinkingCrypto, all one word, to get a discount on this product. And once again, I'm a user. So if you'd like to learn more, visit the link in the description. And folks, a great way you can support the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my new course at mycryptocourse.com. Thank you for watching and listening. I will talk to you all later.